just a great track. I'm going to say that about all of these songs because I absolutely love this album. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Sorry, the debut studio album from singer Meg Myers. I absolutely love this album. I love every single track on it, and in my opinion Meg Myers is definitely one of the more underrated rock singers of our current times. I think she's extremely talented, and of the two albums that she has put out thus far, my personal favorite is her debut album, Sorry. This one came out in 2015 and it is just fantastic in my opinion. So in this video, I'm just going to do kind of like a mini review, I guess you could call it, of Sorry. I'm just going to go through track by track and talk about why I love each song off this album and just why it is by far one of my favorite albums. It's just fantastic. So track 1 on Sorry is Motel, and I think I'm going to say this about every single song on this album, to be honest, but Motel might be my favorite song off of Sorry. This track is just so fantastic, and I think what makes this song great is at the end there's a complete tone shift in the song. It goes from kind of like this more depressive downer of a song, and it becomes very hopeful sounding at the end, which I think is completely what Meg Myers was going for when she recorded this track. It's just a great opening track to Sorry, and it's amazing. It always gives me goosebumps when I listen to it, and just a fantastic track. Track 2 is the song Sorry. This is the first Meg Myers song I ever heard. Again, I'm going to say this, it might also be my favorite song off of Sorry. I have multiple favorites, what can I say? And Sorry is just this bombastic display of like aggression, and when the chorus comes in, it brings all of this energy and intensity. It's a little bit more in your face than Motel, and it kind of has like this simmering hatred in it, I guess you could say. It's just this explosive energy. It's like Meg Myers kind of just venting herself through this song, and it works great. I love this track. And then again, another favorite of mine, track 3 is A Bolt from the Blue, and this one I think is a little bit more up-tempo, less aggressive than Sorry. Now this is definitely still a rock track. I think compared to Motel and Sorry, I would say A Bolt from the Blue is the least like rock sounding. It's just a little bit more up-tempo, but I absolutely love it. It's just a great track. I'm going to say that about all of these songs because I absolutely love this album. And then track 4 we have Desire. This is just a carnal, demented song, very dark. I've heard comparisons, it's like the female version of Closer by 9 Inch Nails. It's kind of in that realm. The instrumentals too on Desire are super, super cool. Like how this song starts out, it almost sounds like something from a nightmare. It's just a really cool song sonically. I love listening to it. And again, with the intensity, Meg Myers is great at funneling really raw emotions through her music in some way or another, and Desire does that really effectively on this album. I Really Want You to Hate Me, track 5. This one is a great example, like I said, of Meg Myers kind of channeling her emotion really rawly through her songs. I love too how this track kind of balances really subdued verses that are just kind of building up the intensity, and then the chorus comes in. All of her emotions are fully released in the chorus. And just lyrically what she's saying on this track, I mean, I really want you to hate me. Again, it's full of like this raw energy and emotion in it, and it's just poured out in this track. It works great. Track 6, Parade, is by far, I think, the slowest, most melodic track on Sorry. Again, just a beautiful song, kind of a sadness to it, and it's almost like the aggression has just left her. She's finally just given in. She's moving on. It's almost like just the ending, the parade to all of the energy she's poured out into this album thus far, and the story that she's told, and it's kind of like the ending of that. I love the strings and the instrumentals on this one. Definitely more subdued, and it works great. Lemon Eyes, track 7, is a great one. This one has great guitar on it, and the instrumentals I love. Kind of almost a, you could say, playful sounding track. There's something very kind of upbeat about this one, and it's just a fun song to listen to. I really like Lemon Eyes. Brings a slightly lighter note to this album. Track 8, Make a Shadow, reminds me a lot of I Really Want You to Hate Me in its structure, kind of very toned down verses, and then the chorus comes in and kind of brings all of the intensity and aggression and everything. And the verses are so minimalistic. There's really just like a guitar for the instrumentals, and then Meg Myers kind of singing in a more toned down vocal range. And then the chorus just comes in, and like I said, it just brings more of that intensity, aggression. The instrumentals are built up. The Morning After, track 9, this is also a more slowed down one, and again, there's kind of just like this weariness to the sound of this one, almost like she's not so much that she's given up, just like that she's finally surrendered and is just moving on. That's kind of the vibe I get from this song. But again, just a very kind of stripped down, more minimalistic song, very bare instrumentals and vocals. And track 10, Feather, this is the last song on Sorry. And like I said, I'm going to say this for most of these songs, Feather might also be my favorite. I have like 4 songs that rotate between being my favorites on this album. This track is just amazing, and talk about a fantastic album ending song too. This track just builds so much. At the start, you just have very minimalistic guitar, and then by the end of this track, it's just full on energy and all out with the instrumentals. And Feather just makes this album end on a really, really uplifting note, which I love. It's almost like throughout this album, it starts off with all this aggression and just more intensity, and then gradually it's almost like she kind of is just giving up as this album progresses. And then this last track, Feather, she just gets like this glimmer of hope to get back up and move on and finally just get on with her life again. And I just love the ending note of that. I think it just works fantastically on this album, and yeah, just what a closing track. Definitely one of my favorites for sure. So that is my little review of Meg Myers' studio album, Sorry. This album is one of my favorites. It's so good. I love every single track on it, and I'm not just saying that. All of these songs are fantastic. Like I said, I rotate between having favorites all the time. Whenever I listen to this album, I can't decide which song is my favorite. If you haven't listened to it, I would definitely highly recommend checking out this album and all of Meg Myers' stuff, to be honest. I think she's an incredibly talented singer and songwriter, and she's definitely giving some cool new stuff to the rock world. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.